I have a mark here. It's a little longer piece today. I was thinking that maybe we'll go back and look at Sefirat and the halachos. We're starting to get more time as we're going along here. I think we're on number Ches. Okay, let me mess on my desk here. Okay, my number Ches says, "V'zecha b'chinas klal ha'gavanas shal Sefirat." What is that he's talking about? Ein sham heitiv b'sof perik vav sham b'seder ha'gavanas heitiv b'prati is b'kol laila b'laila v'tiracha b'godlucha shinoyim sheb'kol yom v'yom. He says, now why? He says every single night. And you'll see the differences that are taking place in every day. The night comes before the day, so now it's like what, not a premonition, but it's a preview of what's going to come, maybe. Ki ata ane mekablen namochan b'chadroga v'mida b'kol yom v'yom. V'rav ein mekablen osaran keseder rak kumoshe kibalna robezam b'leil rishon. So he said we don't get them in order. Rak kumoshe kabla robezam b'leil rishon, like we get them on the first night of Pesach. Shal Pesach shalo b'keseder. It's out of order. Rak shein kibalnu kula b'kipason b'rega achas, but sha'anu. We get them all at one time, in one moment. But not in the right order. That's the first thing. There's a lot more to be said about that as we've been looking at that. We got those rishon, the Abba B'yom Sheni. He's going to go through this a little bit. B'yom Sheni got this rishon, the Ibach B'yom Shlishi, Katnos base. Katnos base. The Abba B'ima. Abba B'ima B'yom Revicha got those Sheni, the Ibach B'yom Chamishi, Katnos rishon, the Abba. The Ibach b'yom shishi rishima the godless base, the Abba b'yom shvi atzmos the godless base, the Abba. V'zechat nishlam shavua rishon. For this, now we see that we're coming to a completion of the first week. V'kol nekta b'bechinas mocha chochma. So it comes also all of them in the aspect of the mocha chochma. Chochma is, let's say, like the color. It's called the color of chochma, if there was such a thing. Which really colors the whole week. Same thing. So these things are with every man. And continuously. Beir HaGavanas the Amko, that even that we don't know really all of what's going on, I guess, in its greatest depth. Everything is constantly happening, every generation, because Shana V'Shana, because Ana V'Ana Noson, and he adds according to the particular position of the chef of the man himself. He called the mochin v'chochma v'chaseichel kul l'das v'lahakir as a boris barak shezeh iker hadas iker kabbalas haTorah. The Moshe Kosev v'yadat ha'chayom v'chashivozach l'vavachu Hashem hu Elokem. Ka'al yedecha b'kol mitzvah al yedecha b'kol diba v'diba me'ezek haTorah zochi l'chamshek al atzmo das v'seichel l'yiskara v'cholav yisbarach. So there is something there. But l'hakir l'secha yisbarach shezecha be'ikar hatachlis. V'zecha b'kol kol kavanas arizal sheruben b'kulach b'chem lahamshech mochim behind the kavanas kol hamitzvahs. There's the kavana of all the mitzvahs here. He says, "Hu lahamshech mochim v'das al kol adam sheyizka the hakir l'sabora yisbarach ba'al medain or ba'al meda'asik if he beginasa." But the mitzvah of the mitzvah nimshach moach v'seichel v'yuchel the das for the hakir so yisbarach. It makes an opar or key or what he said. They said seichel v'yuchel l'das to know lahakir oso yizbarach bebechinas zos. This is also a mispar. There are many, many different ways, I would say, to be able to reach. גורמים למעלה בבין נמשך על האדם שפע חדש שיזכה להכיר וסו יסברך, so each one of them has a special way to be for us to be able to find Hashem. ומך הספיר בשעה צריך לצייס מתומס מצרים שנסעך זה בברכם מאוד על כן צריך לקבל מוחים שלא כסדר כמבואר בגבונוס. וכנגד וכל מוח שריחן לקבל בכל יום ויום בפרטיס, we have to every single detail, כמו כן יש כנגדו קליפה הקודמת, the previous is always in each one. As we want to start out, there's a klipa that comes first. Shuhu bechinas hagader, it is the wall or a block milvar that's outside the is al kol yom v'yom kanal that every day has that. We mentioned this. This was the last little piece he did. השינויים הגדולים שבין המוחים, כמו כן יש שינויים רבים בהגדרים ובחיצos. So there's also all kinds of difference in the boundaries. Sheyesh al kol yom v'yom. Every day has its own obstacles. So each day was going to be particular. He said that so there, this is where all the pressure comes from, the bulim and the confusion. It's like it's not, he's buried under the day. Etc. So this is all has to do with the different changes in the world. That's the whole thing about it. The world is constantly changing into evolving like a kaleidoscope. It just keeps coming different things. He was able to play a little bit. And he had some kind of a rest or comfort there in some way. He got through one day, but now it's really hard. Maybe that's what is at slow in relationship to him. He got Yom and the Godless in it, because we see that every day is you have something different coming at you, whether it's Mochin the Godless, at slow. Shesham ein lechizitz kitzonim shehem aminiyos kol kach. They're not, which are not holding you back so much. Achshav sarek lekabel bechinas b'mochin nekates l'pamim b'hu bechinas katnas rishon shul katnas yoser. So here we are, we're katnas rishon. Now it's interesting that Hod is the fifth day, and the fifth day is katnas rishon. So it's interesting. The whole thing about Rebbe Shem is very interesting because, first of its Hod, so on the left side it's din. And then I try to make up and say that, I don't know if it's the same thing as like a makapapatish. It seems like it is like a finished din, something like that. But that's what's happening, and he is the Katnas Rishon of Katnas Rishon. So that whole thing is where Rebbe Shimon lies. Now maybe he's saying that's why Rebbe Shimon is there, because there is such a thing as Katnas Rishon, and that's where you actually have to look for the light. That's where it's hardest to find the light, the hardest place to find the light, and that is where the greatest light perhaps is. I don't know. Gam yesh katnas to katnas. There's a katnas on top of that katnas. Shesham hasitra afbrach nechases beyoser al biyoser. Okay, nidbach bedol shekar shel amod keneged aminiyah shebezechayom, because the day of Hod Shebahod, here we are right now. He says, this is very interesting that what he's painting, because he's saying that Rebbe Shimon is positioned in this place, like they're saying, Moshe Rabbeinu was hidden in a cave, in a certain way, opposite Baal Peor. But at the same time, you have over here, Rebbe Shimon is hidden, or not hidden, I don't know. It's really mysterious what actually is going on in that day. A lot of different things have been said. But hidden within Katnas Rishon, the Katnas Rishon of Katnas Rishon. אבל באמת צריך להאמין שבוודאי גם בזה היום יש בו טוב ורק טוב. רק שצריכים לשבח הגודל לפי עוזך ביום, but you got to break through. כדי לזכוס לכתוב שבזך ביום דייקה, because there's something special about the day and the connection that you can make with Hashem. That even though the things like this that we don't receive the Mochin Seder, except at Pesach, I think Pesach, Seder except Pesach, in other words, normally the Shefa would come in Seder, but in these 2 days, these 2 moments it doesn't. That's what we normally do. Kavar mavur shama shema shema shemuchachim oz the kabel shaloka seder hu machbes gold lachizas sitra art v'shicha zuchum b'mitzrayim shemachbes zecher hech reich the kabel l'mochim shaloka seder. Now that's the reason why we have to get the mochin the wrong way, because out of order. Vol came kasha'adam enu nokim ma'avanoisav. V'tzark l'shuba d'shuva. Azaiku gam came b'bichin Yetzias Mitzrayim. He's also in that case. This is the case that we're in. So we're people who are Bali Avera. And as a result of that, we have to go through this. We have to get out of Mitzrayim. We have to get out of those boundaries. So now he really has a good metaphor going for the word Mitzrayim, because Mitzrayim is a narrow. So that's what it is. We feel like we're penned in. And we can't get out. V'chazaihu tzarek gam b'shar sa'or b'shar yemos hashana. The Kabbalah Mochin Shadol Kaseder, he has to get the Mochin like this, if he bechinas Yitziyas Mitzrayim, as if it's his time of going out of Mitzrayim. He's the aspect of that, the Haidach Muzuhamas of Anoisav, that is for the poison of the bad things we've done. So there comes along over here different kinds of changes that are in other words, this is Adam got thrown out of the Garden of Eden. We're not in the Garden of Eden, and every single day is changing right in front of us. Now, because it's just too dim. And this is because the Mochin are different every single day. His pashtus hagdarim v'chamechitzos shall call yom. There's the different kinds of things, as the world turns, the different kinds of things that continue to come at us every single day. Al kain tzricha lechazik esatzmo b'chol yom v'yom kafi osach yom, according to that day. And so if sometimes you see that they're bowing down or they're falling down, they say kenegdom ma'od ma'od. Yeah, mishtat chibad ad she'ev shechadol b'shum ofen lehispala garoi. Bafal pi kein tzorek leda v'la'amen shegam hayom azer hu yom. There is a complete day. It's something that's going to be counted or is counted in the days of his life. What did he do with this day, with all the stuff that was thrown at him, let's say? So if you see this in the possible b'shum ovi, no way he could play properly. And do something else. Do something else which is good. Go lilmod Torah, so lilmod miyoser, or la'asav mitzvahs, it could be the chasadim, or lomashar the kinas of Vakasha, say the Vatilim, or other things that we have prayers. So he said Vakasha v'sicha bein the bein kona v'giyotza b'spitis v'giyotza. Hashem Yisborok Rotza the Zakos. It says, so what he wants more than everything else is to give to us. The Zakos is Yisachol, the Ficho of Hirba Lohem, Tardom the Mitzvahs, and that's the reason why we have so many ways we can reach him. Oh, Baruch Hashem, Yesh Landa B'mad Lehachios, it's Mena we have. Even when we're blocked up, we have ways to bring life to ourselves. We call Yom V'Yom, become a mini limudi Torah with all the different kinds of ways we can see the Torah. So Rabbi Nachman always said that you should look at all different kinds of places in the Torah and just keep going with it. The Torah Kedusha will become a mini mitzvahs, all the different kinds of mitzvahs that Hashem has given us. But the main thing is like this. You have to make an effort, so you have to put in the effort that you shouldn't make mistakes or go off the derech. Because this day will be nullified and it'll go, and the days will keep coming. Because every day you have to think that this is the only day I have. There's an aspect like that. Now this next one, because I think we have a little bit more time. I didn't really look at it, but we have a feeling for and it's a shorter one, so I thought maybe I could get it in, because I'm not prepared, and we're getting more and more time, so anyway, let's try number tests. Zochen the Shvuos. Shvuos hu Iyar Kabbalas HaTorah ve'oz zochen the kappa b'chinas keser. Kamuva b'gavanas ve'isa b'divrei Rabbeineinu b'rein Rabbeinu Zal shekeser hu lashon hamtana. Now what is hamatana? Now hamtana. Kamosha Kosev kater li zer. So make a crown for me. I guess a zer. Ve'oz hu tachlis hatikun shabechinas hatzimsumim. Is in order to be able to make this crown. Then what happens is a tikkun takes place in the different contractions that are allowing the light to flow down. And that's the reason why, because you don't want the moach, the real seed, come down, what's his word? He says, Yetzer Moach Chutz the Gevul the Kedusha, so that it should stay within the proper boundaries. Shelo Yaksha Machshavas Rose, V'tayvat V'hirkornim V'chochmos Kitzonius, V'chochmos Shel Hevel, V'kol Mini Machshavas, all different kinds of thoughts. Shehu Chutz the Gevul the Kedusha, which is outside of the boundaries of Kedusha. Shekulim Shachem Bebechinas Zulchomas Mitzrayim. Sheyomkim and Begamat Simpson, because where do they? So the place of the neck, as we've said before, is the place of the Tzimtzum. This is where the first Tzimtzum starts, and that's where power is located. So he says Sheyomkim Begamat Tzimtzum, because if there's a Begam in those places, the Tzimtzum, the Kedusha, Shuhu Bebechinas B'malchus Kedusha. So it's the Malchus is the ultimate Tzimtzum. Ki heim mebechinas malchus a rishocha shekol zecha ba'ana oskein the sakein b'kol yom the b'kol yemei hasfira. The kavicha tikun, because of the tikun, came nimshak aleinu ha'aras ha'mochin the kedusha ad shebeshavuos b'yom ha'chmishim as mekabdim ha'mochin b'shleibus, and we receive the mochin in complete mochin. The nimshak aleinu ha'kedusha ha'bishar ha'chmishim from the 50th gate. V'hoz hu Iyar Kabbalas HaTorah. Oz nistakim simson the mochin bechina of Yonis, and then we see that there's a tikkun that takes place in the mochin at the very highest level. Hainu ki gam kashe nishmarach the begam at simson, that when a person is guarded from the begam that takes place in the simson. So we should not be thinking about anything that we shouldn't be thinking about. And as a result of that, the person merits mochin the kedusha. Adayim tzrichen the zocher the hishamer ma'od yam b'kedusha shelo yetze chutz the gevul sheyeshlo. So also that the kedusha should be guarded, so just keep it inside of the proper channel. Shezecha bechinas ha'haschara shehiskira ma'od kodem kabbalas HaTorah ben yeherzuch la'alos Hashem, that break out to be destroyed as you try to go up to that place. So in other words, you can't receive the light if you're mefukin so badly. Nimsa shetzrik and the sak and the mocha, so therefore it's necessary to make a tikkun in the mocha b'shtei bechinas in two different ways. Shei bechinas shnei mini tzimtzumim, which are the two different kinds of contractions. So when you want to be able, you're reaching up and you want to be able to reach they have the mochin come to you. So tzimtzum echad be'esha wrote in the Kabbalah mochin shetzrich in the sakin that tzimtzum shelo yetzer hamoach begavul hagedusha the lechutz. So that's one thing. Shelo yachshav v'machshavas chutz, that you shouldn't think thoughts that go out of the boundaries. You know, v'zem mesaknim ba'arbaim v'tisha. You made that process. That process has to be woven together or fixed together in those 49 days. V'tisha yemechot svir v'kanal. So therefore now you're receiving the mochin. So you're making the tikkun in all of the channels. That's what you really have. We have state is a channel called Hod Shabahod, or Hod Shabahod. So Hamulin Sarichan the Sachin the Simpson the Sheni Shagam Kedusha do Yetze Chutz the Gavul. I just wanted to throw in, as I was looking at the Rishash, I realized the Rishash holds like the second opinion of it's the, say for example, it's the Hod of all the Chagtam. So I just saw that for the first, been looking at this for many years. So anyway, you knew that already. So anyway, the Yetzer Chutz the Gavul bechinas mufla bechinas b'mufla mimcha al tidrosh. I forgot what that went to, but let's go on. So he says, Sasheni shagam begedusha lo yetzer chutz the gavul. So in other words, be able to maintain yourself, your focus in where you have to be. Shazecha bechinas ashara. This is the aspect of the warning. Pan yehersul la'alos al Hashem. So that should be destroyed when you try to get too close. But that's tzricha b'sachem b'shavuos. This is what has to be done in shavuos. Al yedei b'chinas keser. That's what keser does for shavuos. Ki keser lashon hamtana. Now I'm thinking matana just means like the word matana. Does it mean? No. It means wait. Waiting. Yeah. Yeah. So if a keser, so how does it work? Ki keser lashon hamtana. So what's the metaphor? He says keser is the idea of waiting. In other words, you have to stay in your place, I guess. You can't break through to Hashem to try to break through to that. What does that mean? He talks about this even more. So here he says the concept of waiting. The concept of not trying to push your way through. He said, I think, meaning that it's going to come to you. It's going to come to you. Because maybe it is a matana, but this here matana means waiting. Okay, well, it's interesting. See what we can do with it. Let's go over to the Sefirat Tzniuta and see what Reb Shimon has to say.